All right, positive energy all the time. Good to see you all today. Hope everyone is doing great. Welcome to Vegan Intel. Today we're going to be talking about childhood obesity. That is really a serious problem. It's a very serious problem, and it's getting worse. It's getting worse. So we're going to get into it. People are not on board enough. When it comes to changing over from the food we're consuming, and that is a problem. So come on in, hit the like button, share, subscribe. Let me know you're here, who's here. More Power is here. Jerry is here. XYZ is here. Who else is here? Let's get into it. Oh, I had a heavy workout day yesterday. Put in a lot of time with the workout yesterday. Haven't been to the gym in a while, been working out here at the office. So hopefully I will get into the gym one of these days this week. It's not absolutely necessary, but I would like to go in. I might even stop by the gym this evening, run to the store right quick, stop in the gym. Even if I just hit a couple machines, that will help my workout at home. Drinking me some plant-based milk with matcha. That's why it has this greenish color to it. Getting my dose of matcha. Everyone, come on in, come on in. And let's have this very interesting conversation. Health is wealth, so you got to take care of yourself. I hope you all are pushing hard to have your wealth at the best that it could be. I am working overtime on my health. I will be turning 68 in February, so I'm pushing hard. Excellent, Ross. I hope I get a chance to get in there today, but I did have a really strong workout yesterday here at the office. So I'm drinking some plant-based milk, some Ripple milk, 8 grams of plant protein per serving. And I got my rise in there, my mushroom matcha. I had 2 bags of this, and I opened the bag and used it once or twice and never used it. And so I threw that bag away since I had 2 bags and I just opened this one. I'm going to use this one. It doesn't expire until April 2026. And this has cordyceps in it, lion's mane, reishi, shiitake, turkey tail, and king trumpet. They have all those mushrooms in it. And it also has the matcha in it. Suggested use drink daily over time. The mushrooms in our blend will help balance your body and mind. Use 2 servings per day for the first week to accelerate results. So they want me to drink this twice a day at first to accelerate the results. So I'm knocking that back maybe twice today. I'm not going to do my protein powders today. I'm going to do this today twice and do my protein shake again tomorrow. But I don't know. I might follow their advice that telling me they want me to use this twice a day for the first week. I don't know. I might do this for 7 days, twice a day, just to see. I got to think about that. I might. I got to think about that. I think once a day is going to work for me, though. I could do my protein shake in the morning, and I think I would do these at night and just do it consistently for a month or two. Because I'm still going to need my protein shakes when I'm doing this bodybuilding experiment. So I'm doing a bodybuilding experiment, and it's difficult. But come on in, everybody. Good to see you. Hit the like button, share, subscribe. And today I am talking about childhood obesity, which is totally getting out of control. For sure. Childhood obesity is out of control. Seriously. Alarming surge. And this is from News Desk. Shout out to News Desk. Alarming surge, global crisis of childhood overweight and obesity. Since 1990, the rise in childhood overweight and obesity has surged across every continent, almost doubling in prevalence. While the U.S. has the highest prevalence, other nations are not far behind. This was just put out at the end of last year, 2024. Since 1990, the rise of childhood obesity has surged across every continent, almost doubling in prevalence. While the United States has the highest prevalence, other nations are not far behind. In Southern Europe, including Greece, Italy, and Spain, 10 to 15% of children are obese, while Eastern European countries have somewhat lower rates, but are experiencing a rapid increase that may soon match Southern Europe. Globally, Asia has nearly half of all overweight children under the age of 5, and Africa has 1/4 of such children. In Latin America, about 20% of children under 20 are overweight. Many developing countries face a dual challenge of both overweight and obesity and malnutrition in their children. So they have a obesity problem and malnourished problem. Imagine that. The deleterious consequences of this epidemic are already evident. Childhood hypertension, type 2 diabetes, among others. Research from Florida Atlantic University's Schmidt College of Medicine and colleagues sound the alarm and discuss both challenges and potential solutions in a commentary published in the Maternal and Child Health Journal. Pediatric overweight and obesity have reached epidemic levels in the U.S. and are becoming a pandemic globally. These conditions lead to high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, and lipid disorders, which contribute to metabolic syndrome. In adults, these issues significantly increase the risk of heart attack, stroke, liver disease, obstructive sleep apnea, arthritis, and certain cancers, many of which are now occurring at younger ages, said Charles H. Hennekins, MD, first author and the first Sir Richard Dow Professor of Medicine and Preventive Medicine, FAU Schmidt College of Medicine. Through coordinated clinical and public health efforts, we can address these troubling trends and work toward a healthier future for children and families globally. With declining physical education in schools and exercise time spent on electronic devices, many children fail to meet recommended activity guidelines. This sedentary behavior contributes to overweight and obesity through poor diet, reduced sleep, and decreased physical activity. So our children aren't getting any exercise, any physical activity according to the amount they are supposed to get, and they are not doing well because of it. I talked about this in a previous live stream. It's the same situation with colon cancer. These cancers and these morbidities are happening at a younger and younger and younger and younger and younger age. Parents need to realize that you are influencing your children by what you are eating. And by you and the children not really eating healthy means that your children will most likely have to deal with your illnesses, which could cause some absences in their life. You can end up absent in your child's life from hospitalization or passing away early. Your child is going to be stressed out from your health issues, and your child could likely have health issues much earlier than you did. This is a problem. This is a real problem. Typically in society, because I've been plant based since 1978, and when I went plant based, at the time I thought it was vegetarian, but actually I was a vegan and didn't know it. There was a lot of pushback just based on what I decided to do. Imagine that. There were people uncomfortable with my decision for myself. Just imagine that. There were people uncomfortable with my decision for myself. XYZ say, when I was a child, we were active, gym class, and played outside when we got home. Exactly. But you know what happened? My children wasn't that active because my children didn't have any children to play with. Because not only did we start eating worse, we stopped having babies. There, the amount of people that had 5 children, 3 children, 4 children, or even 2 children went down. People started having one child or no children. So the children didn't have a squad. A squad creates more activity. If you live on a block and there's 5 children, they will not play as hard as a block that has 18 children or 15 children. The block that has 20 children, not only do they play more, but each age category has somebody to play with. And so when I was growing up, let's say when I was growing up, and let's say I'm 12, there was a bunch of 11 and 12 and 13-year-olds that play together. Then there was a bunch of 7 and 6, 7 and 8-year-olds that play together. Then there were little babies that would be outside. Then there were older high schoolers. It was a bunch of them. So not only was there a lot of children, but each age bracket, there was somebody for you to play with. Most times, 3 of these brackets would play together. So we would play together, you say, from around 13 down to 7. Not so much to 5 and 6 years old or 4, because they couldn't keep up with us, running, hide and go seek and all that. The little ones couldn't do that. And a lot of times they have to stay close to the porch and they're not outside that long. So when I'm 5 and 6, I wasn't outside a whole lot. Like by the time I got, 11, when you 11, you outside till the street lights come on. Your mother almost got to make you come in. Boy, you ain't came in here and ate nothing or did nothing. You just out there. But also with a lot of children, there was people that sold food outside. There was the man with the ice cream truck, and he got hot tamales and sandwiches and ice creams and everything. So you could get a snack. We ran to the store a lot too. We got a lot of physical activity going to the store. We didn't drive to the store. We went to children, walked to the candy store or the local little grocery store or the local store that might got a pharmacy in there too. something like what you would call a Walgreens today. It would be like Rexall. It would have Rexall in there, have like a pharmacy in the back, you know. So we did more physical activity. We rode bikes like motorcycle gangs. When I was a little boy, a bike was everything. Your number one prize possession was your bike. Now it's a video game. But when I was coming up, your prized possession was your bike. That was like your car. Seriously, that was like your motorcycle. Like that was everything was your bike. And all the boys would get on our bikes and we just ride around and around. It was safer too back then. Because lots of children, nobody wants to try to abduct a lot of children. When you got a few children, then people will try to abduct one of them. But when you got a lot of children, a lot of children are like a burglar alarm, and you're not going to get away with nothing. But as time went, the video games came in, less children, the parents are gaining more weight, the parents are getting sicker, they're selling more uh, snacks in the stores. Stores used to didn't sell that many snacks. Stores used to didn't have a big old aisle with potato chips and sodas down. That's fairly new. That type of stuff, those big old soda aisles and potato chip aisles, that's basically like the 90s. And kind of like in the middle of the 90s, somewhere in there. That never existed originally. There was no big old soda aisle like that when I was in high school. That didn't exist. You might have the sodas and the chips on the same side. Now it's like the sodas all on this side and that side, and another whole aisle with chips and candy. Like two aisles of just soda, chips, and candy at some stores. It's crazy. It's absolutely madness. To be honest with you, I kid you not. I mean, straight madness. I'm not kidding. It's the way they've redesigned the store is just straight madness. I kid you not. Just, just unbelievable. Seriously, it's just totally unbelievable. The store where you go in the store and you go down the chip aisle and it's the wildest thing ever. I can't believe that people don't see the dangers when they look at that stuff. There's just no way you can have a healthy population with just those aisles alone. Just those aisles alone is like incredible. Absolutely incredible. The fact that you live in a country that allow that is sad. It really is. Because anybody with any kind of sense knows that that's not healthy. Thank you, brother, for the donation. I mean, it's just unbelievable when you see it. When you see it, you go, what, you know what I'm saying? It's just mind blowing. You know, it, look at this. Welcome to America. Look at all of this sugar that we are selling people in this country. And the children are one of the main ones drinking this stuff. The children. We are flooding our children with this stuff. Just flooding them. The poor babies ain't got a chance because it tastes sweet. It, you know, of course they want it. Of course. They got it all colorful. So they see all these colors. They use fruit to attract them. It's yeah. And then that's not the only aisle. That's what's the crazy thing. Because then you got the other aisle. You got this aisle. You got this aisle. You got the soda aisle. You got the chip aisle. The babies don't have a chance. Think about that. A store is only so big, and you got a large portion of the store is the soda aisle, the chip aisle, and the candy aisle. Now just think about those three aisles, just those three. Just think about that. Just think about the soda aisle, the chip aisle, and the candy aisle. Just let that sink in. And tell me why our children are overweight and obese. How could they not be? Like seriously. And you got the bakery. You're 100% correct. You got the bakery. You got the bakery. Unbelievable. Rising childhood obesity is a global concern, significantly increasing children's risk for chronic conditions like type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and fatty liver disease. This health issue also strains bones and joints, leading to sleep apnea, and can cause social and psychological problems such as depression, low self esteem, and anxiety. The long term impacts of childhood obesity include a higher risk of heart attack, stroke, and certain cancers in adults. Health complications. Children with elevated weight are more likely to develop a range of health issues. Metabolic diseases, insulin resistant, and type 2 diabetes are closely linked to childhood obesity, leading to high blood sugar levels. Cardiovascular issues, increased risk of high blood pressure and high cholesterol, which can pave the way for future heart disease and stroke. Liver disease, a higher likelihood of developing fatty liver disease, which can progress to severe scarring and require a liver transplant. I don't know anything about liver disease. I'm going to look it up and talk about it. I don't know what that even is. Joint problems. Extra strain on joints can lead to early onset osteoarthritis. Respiratory problems. This is sad. Increased risk of asthma and sleep apnea, a disorder where breathing stops and starts during sleep. Long-term consequences. Childhood obesity is not a temporary issue. It significantly raises health risk throughout a person's life. Increased risk in adulthood. Many of the chronic conditions associated with obesity, such as heart attacks, liver disease, and certain cancers, often begin in childhood. Factors like high blood pressure and insulin resistance, common in obese children, accelerate the progression of cardiovascular disease and other conditions. Psychological and social impacts. Obesity can also have significant mental and social effect on a child's well-being. Emotional distress. Experiences with bullying, social stigma, and body image issues can lead to depression, low self-esteem, and social anxiety. Academic performance. Sleep disturbances from conditions like sleep apnea can cause daytime sleepiness, negatively impacting a child's ability to perform well in school. And I know for a fact that growing up, that the young ladies that were overweight battled all type of issues, and a lot of times they were taken advantage of early, right? Because they want to be liked too. And so in some cases, they would end up with older people. So like she's, a freshman, she could easily be with a senior or even a freshman in college, or be with just a lot of boys, like anybody that would pay her attention. And the boys that were overweight, they went through certain things too, unless they were fortunate enough to, like, maybe they see their size and put them on a football team and kind of slim up a little bit and get a little self-esteem because he's on the football team where his weight is helping him on the front line. That helps some. But other than that, overweight children used to get uh, shunned. Now they don't get shunned because half of the class is overweight. So it is normal. So now they can live a happy, productive life. An overweight junior in high school could just get a boy could get an overweight girl, and they could just be an overweight couple, and they just live a happy, overweight life with lots of medical issues. And this is a fact. I tell this story all the time. I was driving down the street, 127th Street, right? And I'm going west to go to Bank of America. And as I'm going, one of those ladies come out for the school with the little sign, tell everybody to stop. And from this side of the car, a bunch of children start walking, and the school's on this side. And I'm one of the first cars. I'm the first car. So they're walking right in front of me. So by the time they got no more than 20 of them, I started noticing that this is crazy, because why would you notice this? How many of them was overweight? It just stood out. It was so obvious because these are children. I started counting them, and it was a lot of them. It was like 80, 90 of them. I wish I could remember the exact number, but it was high. It wasn't in the hundreds, but it was like 70, 80, 90. And this is out of, let's say it's 80 of them. This is out of like 210 children. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't quite half, but every group had a bunch of overweight children with every section. And I ain't never seen no overweight children like that. When I went to school, it was like one overweight girl. That's it. Nobody was overweight. Nobody was like overweight. There would always be they would call him the fat kid. I don't like saying that because I don't like fat shaming nobody, but this is what you would be, the fat kid. There were no fat kids. There was no boys that couldn't ride their bike. And the boys that was overweight, they wouldn't be riding their bikes. They wouldn't ride bikes. They would be like mama's boys. They'd be up under their mommy in their house. They only get to play with the children when we get back on the block. They're not playing. Well, they're not at the basketball court. They're not at the baseball field. They're not over at the park on the grass when we play two-hand touch or football. The overweight boys are never nowhere around until you come back on the block. Seriously. They wasn't involved with typical boy activities. They ain't never at the basketball court. They ain't never on the baseball field. So it definitely affects their lives. And a lot of times the men, they be mommy's boys. They be up under mommy. What else they gonna do but sit up under their mama and eat? And mommy gonna feed them. Childhood obesity increases the risk for heart disease. Excess weight often contributes to high blood pressure and elevated cholesterol levels, putting strain on the heart and blood vessels. Over time, this can lead to arteriosclerosis, raising the risk of heart attacks and strokes in adulthood. So this is absolutely horrible. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. We've got uh we've got to do better. We've got to do better because parents are setting a horrible example for their children, you know, and it's sad. Parents contribute to their child's obesity by modeling unhealthy eating habits and lifestyles, making high calorie foods and sugary drinks readily available, and potentially limiting physical activity and access to safe places to play. While genetics play a role, parental behaviors, attitudes toward food, and overall home environment are modifiable factors that can promote or prevent childhood obesity. So the parents are adding to the problem. Okay. And I want to save this for later because many times these subjects come back up when we end up talking about other factors. And it's just amazing that when I'm talking about health, how many of the same issues come up for all of the health problems time and time again. It's always, and one of the main factors is always the food. The food, the food, the food. The food is always a problem. Always, always. The food. The food, the food, the food. Every time it's the food. And I don't know when it's going to change. I don't know when somebody's going to step up. I guess they're going to wait until it's just like a crazy pandemic, epidemic type situation. I guess it's got to get like really bad before uh, anybody steps up to do something about it. Overfeeding a child is definitely child abuse because you're neglecting as a parent. A lot of times, if you're overweight, you didn't enjoy growing up being overweight. So why would you do that to your son? Why would you do that to your daughter? A lot of times, you got health issues. You know you got health issues. You know what kind of mentality you got to have to give your child the same health issues you got? And not be like, listen, mommy or daddy, I've been overweight since I was little and I ain't been able to control it, but I'm not going to let you be like that. Seriously. And now we sit down. So these sit down jobs ain't helping nothing. You waiting at the bus stop when the bus driver pull up. They big as a house on that bus driver. Here in Chicago, like we have police officers, and some of the female police officers, they be too big to be police officers. They be too big. How could they do the job? They don't necessarily be fat, but they just be too swole up, kind of too thick, and they stuffed in them pants and their belt, and they parked at Walgreens, sitting in the squad car, snacking. And they get out the car, you like, how you gonna stop crying? You are big and you got that belt pulled tight to give you like some type of waist, but come on, lady. But it's really bad in the black community. White America is a way more health conscious. White America is more physical fit, volleyball, jog, skateboard, rollerblade, that type of thing. You know, Black America is got to get there. Even though foundational Black Americans are the fastest growing group of vegans. Congratulations to that. And more plant based restaurants are open on like crazy. That's a beautiful thing. So we're getting there. But I believe we got to hurry up and turn this car around because we're looking at decades of uh, abuse of our own bodies. And eventually that's going to start just showing at a rapid pace. So, get more people to come over here and watch. Send this out to all your friends. Make sure you support the channel. Make sure you donate to the channel and try to get more people to come over here so we can try to spread the word. Like this has to be a 911. That's why I started this channel. Because I'm like, okay, when it comes to eating and health, I got to separate that. And that has to be just a conversation by itself. And make sure you subscribe and get us on up to 1,000 subscribers. We're at like 800 and something. We need to get to 1,000 subscribers quickly, and we need to get the message out here. We need to get the message out here. And if you're involved with health any type of way, contact me. The contact information is in the description, and so I can bring you over on the live and you can try to help the people. So if you got anything you can bring to the table concerning health, I'll bring you over and let you have the floor. You don't have to. You don't even have to go back and forth with me. You could just come. I'll introduce you, and you present your presentation to the people about health. And as soon as we get 1,000 subscribers, that's when I'm going to be start doing interviews over here. I don't want to interview some of these popular people until I build the channel up. The channel's new. So I don't want to disrespect these really popular people and bring them over here with a small audience. So I want to get a bigger audience. So if you know anything about eating, if you have anything to bring to the table, if you're in any type of profession, athletic, workouts, if you're a person that do workouts and design workouts and instruct people for workout, physical activity, anything like that, let me know. I need to get you over here because each one teach one. And what we want to do, we want to encourage people in the United States and all over the world to eat better. We going outside of the box of race, nationality, and all of that. We doing local, state, state, country, countries, global, international health. There's no limits on who we want to help eat better. And we're gonna be diving into all of the health problems in India, Asia, the continent of Africa, Europe, United States, South and Central America, all of these cities, and all of these health problems, and all of these great things to do to help. So we're going to cover the whole gamut. We're going to cover what makes you sick. We're going to cover what you could do to be well. We're going to cover what you can do when you're sick to work to get well. We're going to cover what you can do to not get sick in the first place. So thanks for watching. If your child is a little overweight, figure out some kind of way you can stimulate them to move around without saying something. So figure out a way. If your son's a little chubby, figure out some kind of way that you can get that weight off of him without saying anything too much. Figure out a way where it's not as much candy laying around as it was. It's not as much chips as it was. Without your child knowing you cutting them back, it's just happening organically to try to help these children. And if you find out it's a fruit they like, then make sure you give them that so that they won't want the candy as much. So if you know your son loves grapes, make sure he's eating more grapes. That'll naturally make him eat less candy. That'll help kill the sweet craving. So fruit is a good way to help your child not crave nothing sweet in the house. You ever been in a house and you don't have no cake, you don't have ice cream, you don't have no candy, and you want something sweet and you got a nice ripe banana? What do? You go eat that. It does the job too, because it's sweet. It does the job. I do it all the time. I eat a banana. It does the job. I mean, that apple that you got in there, you're going to go cut it and eat it if you want something sweet bad enough. You're going to go eat the apple. And it works. When you eat the apple, you don't want anything else. That's a fact. You can cut an apple and eat it, and your cravings are gone. It's amazing. So that's what it is. Thanks for watching. I'm sitting here drinking my Rise. This is not a paid advertisement. I'm just letting y'all know what I'm drinking. I had it in the cabinet a long time, and I'm on this super health kick right now. I've always been on the health kick, but I'm even on it heavier. So I'm going to be drinking this matcha with all these mushrooms. I'm going to be drinking this every evening or every morning, but I'm going to try to fit it in and see what I could do to make sure I'm constantly trying to put healthy, nutritious stuff into my body and a variety. I'm trying to expand my variety too. And always remember, health is wealth. So take care of yourself. Peace.